Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Ryan Griffis on the line, and he's an entrepreneur, and his name of his organization and company is called Still Standing. Today's interview is part of our National Social Media Awards series, where we bring you the best of those that are participating and attending the National Social Media Awards. If you haven't picked up tickets yet, you can go to nationalsocialmediaawards.com and grab tickets. The date will be Sunday, June 7th, and it's going to be at the Avalon Hollywood. I will be there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's supposed to be over 700 people in attendance. Again, go to nationalsocialmediaawards.com to grab tickets, and I will see you there. Ryan, welcome to the show, man. Good to hear from you.
Adam, man, I really appreciate it. I just want to say thank you for everything that you do, and it's an honor being here today, being able to just sit down and talk with you, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so I know, maybe let's start off with a little bit of your background. I know you have a military background, and I know, over time, social media kind of changed things up for you. So where do you want to start with? Maybe the military background?
Yeah, we'll go. I commissioned out of Eastern Kentucky University. I commissioned as a second lieutenant. Been in the Army was 9 years. I recently just now got out in March of 2026. And social media really changed my life, and being able to do it while being in the Army was a blessing. I was able to have that counterbalance of having the military aspect and that lifestyle, but also being able to do the social media as well towards the end of my career.
So interesting thing for me is I've had some different individuals on here. We'll just say from different age groups, all right? So we'll say from different age groups. And I'm just curious about your overall feel for you. As you mentioned, you're able to do social media while you were in the military, while you were enlisted. Once upon a time, that wasn't the case from some of the individuals that I had on the show that have been, let's say another generation, right? So how has it changed? I'm just curious from your perspective, because you were able to build some things while you were still enlisted.
Yeah, I started doing social media in 2020, right after my deployment to Iraq. And, I came back and I was doing social media and really out of uniform. Nobody knew I was in the military. And then I released one of the videos of me being in uniform, and it kind of took off. And my platforms just started having a snowball effect of people seeing the content that I made, which was day in the life videos, me having good days, bad days, struggling, raw, authentic content. And I was able to project that to my audience that even on your roughest days, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what I really was honing in on with my niche is mental health matters. So in the months of June and September, I was really focusing on mental health, suicide prevention. Not only was I going through a rough time after my deployment, but I realized that there's a lot of other service members that was struggling with the same things that I was struggling with. And when I was able to be vocal and have a voice on the platforms, and then people realized that I was active duty in the military, they all kind of started resonating with what I was going through and what I was saying. And if I could speak out and I could do it, then that allowed them to be able to do it as well. And it pretty much put a lot of light in some dark places, I feel, throughout the platforms.
Well, I want to go further into that and definitely get into your content. But before we do, maybe one step back here, what are your favorite platforms to put out content?
Yeah, so I would say right now would be TikTok. We have 1.8 million followers on TikTok. We recently just got verified, and it's one of those apps that I'm able to create that's pretty simple. It doesn't have to be all the flashy cameras, lights, and stuff like that. I was able to really just get behind the screen and project my voice to the audience and know that everything that I was saying was really understood on the backside with the community that I've built.
What do you attribute maybe some of that success to in creating that platform and that community? And I'll tell you why I'm asking this too. Not only for yourself, but there's other would-be content creators, even content creators that are currently, in the trenches trying to build an audience. Like, what could they learn from what you've been able to accomplish? Yeah,
I would say for mine and my success, it was always being raw and transparent with the community that I've built. I know there's a lot of other creators that are out there that's really trying to chase that paycheck or promote those products or something like that. Instead of going that route, I just really needed somebody to talk to. I had kept a lot of emotions and feelings in of my struggles that I was going through, and it was pretty much an out for me is I was just coming on that platform, putting my phone down for 60 to 90 seconds and letting the world really in on my good days, the bad days, and the struggles that I was going through. So I think the success was just being raw and transparent with everybody that I was speaking to.
Yeah. When did you realize that like your voice could have like genuine impact and it could really help people? When did you realize that?
You know, it was very overwhelming in the beginning. Like I said, you know, I was talking about a lot of struggles that I was personally going through, not realizing that there was other people on the backside of the screen that was going through the same thing. So it wasn't until my team received one of the messages, we had received an email, and it was from a 14-year-old that said that they wanted to still be here today because of something that they heard me say throughout one of my videos.
Wow.
And in that very moment, I realized that what I was doing wasn't just helping myself, but it was helping millions of other people. So I made a promise to myself to continue doing what I was doing, even if it just helped change one person's life and I could be a light for one person, then I would continue doing it, and I wouldn't stop until my voice was heard around the world.
So name of your company, Still Standing, name of your brand. Tell us a little bit more about your vision for and where you're at and what you plan to be, where you plan to be going forward.
Yeah, so I started Still Standing for two reasons, really, is because I come from a small town, and being able to have the opportunities that I do now, it's very hard to do that coming and having the background that I come from. So my goal for this was be able to really not only create as a content creator, but I was trying to build a business that was not just vertical, but horizontal as well. That way I could teach people the ropes. You know, I've been doing this now for 6 or 7 years. I started in 2020, so going on 7 years. And I really think that if I had somebody as a mentor that could show me the tips and tricks on social media on how to utilize every platform, because they're all different, and I could be able to teach that, then maybe I could help somebody save some time in the long run and pursue what they want to do. And that's why I started Still Standing, is because not only do I myself as a content creator, I have a little over 2.4 million followers now, but we have 30 influencers that are underneath us with which are like-minded creators, whether they're active duty, whether they're veterans, whether they're law enforcement. It's just a community that we've built, and they now have 30.4 million followers combined, that we just go and try to teach like-minded people that want to learn and grow on social media and how to do it.
Wow. It makes a lot of sense. And I love, you didn't use this word, but I'm sure it's in your vocabulary, number one. And number two, I loved it. And I love to always talk about it. And you said it without saying it. So collaboration, like you brought together other influencers, you brought together and you're creating a platform, and you're really taking a leadership role in that. Talk about that a little bit, because everybody listening may not have caught that, or they may not even have, thought that was possible. But I love the strength in numbers thing.
Yeah, so for me, being in the military, I was a leader in the military. I got out as a captain, and I think the strongest attribute that I have is being a people person, being able to communicate and be able to lead others, and that's what I aspire to do, and that's what I've done within my company. I see a lot of times within this military community, if you will, I've seen a lot of competition that's going on, and that's what I didn't want to do. I wanted to build a community that's not about competition. It's about building up others. And that's what I've tried to strive to do within the company is if you're a creator and you're not looking for a competition against other creators, then we want to be able to build that community where we all come together. There's so much that you can learn from other content creators, like-minded people. And that's what I enjoy, is being able to not only lead and have a purpose, but learn from others as well.
Yeah. All right, so we are, I'm going to put a timestamp on this. So it's May 19th, 2026. If you could, you had that crystal ball going into your 7 years in, by the way, so congrats on the consistency and on that. I want to bring that back out so people know that you didn't just wake up one day and all of a sudden all this was built. No, it takes work. You're helping a lot of people, but it's still a business. It's still a business. So if you had that crystal ball looking out, 5 years from now, where would you want to be with Still Standing?
Yeah, I just want to reach 1 billion people. I sat down in SoFi Stadium in my early content creation with David Meltzer, and he had a podcast inside of SoFi Stadium, and his goal was to be able to inspire 1 billion people. And for me to be able to do that and follow in the footsteps of somebody like him, that's what I strive to do. If I can just make it in this world and be a light in someone's dark day to billions of people, even if it's only changing one person's life, that's my goal, and that's me shooting for the stars. I want to inspire, motivate, and give hope and provide light in someone's dark day to over 1 billion people.
Love that. And David's been on the show multiple times. I'm a big fan of the work he's doing. He's really one of those servant leaders that out there that leads by example. So I followed his work for a long time. Do you know he's been doing like a weekly call? Free call, like a free call for something like 20 years or something crazy, like for 20 years. And it's completely free, like a coaching call. And he gives more value on that coaching call. It's a group call than I would argue some of the biggest pundits out there. I'm just shocked at his breadth of wisdom in business. And I love it. And he really leads with a tremendous amount of free content. So I'm glad that he's in your court and supporting what you're doing as well. So that's wonderful. Ryan, if somebody's listening or watching this and they want to follow up and they want to follow your content and they want to follow your platform, how do they do that?
Yeah, they can follow me on any social media platform. It's going to be under Mr.Griffis. My website is www.mrgriffis.com, and that's my socials as well. So my real name is Ryan Griffis, but on all my platforms, I go by Mr. Griffis.
Fantastic. And for everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so you can just click on the links and head right on over and connect with Ryan. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. You heard me correct. Each and every day we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way in your journey as well. So hit that subscribe or follow button. And Ryan, man, appreciate all you're doing. Keep up the great work, and looking forward to seeing you at the National Social Media Awards, which for everybody that's listening, don't forget nationalsocialmediaawards.com. Go grab your tickets. It is Sunday, June 7th. It'll be in Hollywood, California. So, and Ryan, I look forward to meeting you in person, man.
Adam, thank you so much. It's been an honor, and I look forward to it as well.